Well, do you ever wish your pet could just tell you what's wrong? Well, a smart collar could be the answer. The PetPace collar says it will tell you if your pet's health may be in danger. I sat down with veterinarian Jasmin Keramati from Andover Animal Hospital, who tested it out with her own dog. Take a look. Well, Jasmin, thanks so much for being here. This is so interesting. You're not only a pet owner, but you're also a veterinarian. So you're testing this out. We know that there's so many interesting things out there for humans, but pets really don't have any way of ever telling us how they feel when they're in pain, when they're sick. And that's a problem. I know, being a pet owner myself, my family, we went through some tragedies with our own dogs. So how is this working to really revolutionize the way we communicate and have our pets tell us what's going on?
Well, you're so right. I mean, one of the biggest challenges of being a veterinarian is digging through that medical history and really getting to the bottom of how the pet's feeling, because animals do tend to hide signs of illness, and they do what we ask of them even if they're not feeling well. So this is going to be a great monitoring tool to get more objective data on how our animals are actually feeling when we're home and when we're not home.
And you brought Timber with you here.
Yes.
And you've been testing this out. So exactly what you put this on the collar. Exactly how does this work?
Yep, it's a separate collar that you just snap around the neck. She seems very comfortable with it, never scratched or bothered at it at all. And then there's a little modem that I hooked up to the internet connection in my house, so it talks to the internet, just sort of like a cordless phone would, and records her heart rate, her thermoregulation, her respirations, and her body positioning and activity levels.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but the whole point behind this, on one level too, is that some of the costs associated with, we know there's pet insurance now, obviously. Some of the costs, I know my own parents spent a fortune on some of our dogs. I mean, because you love them, they're part of our family, but this could actually prevent some of those really high cost veterinarian bills, because this is going to tell us there's a problem before it gets too late.
Exactly. Hopefully, I mean, at our practice, we're always looking to to improve the standard of care, and especially preventive care for our patients, and hopefully this collar is going to be a really effective tool to do just that. Pick up on diseases early before animals get really sick.
And what you mentioned a couple of things, but how does it actually, the technology is fascinating. Are there things like this out there? I mean, how is this different or working on a level that we haven't really seen? I know, like I said, for humans, we have these kind of things. Is that it's picking up, like you said, heart rate and what other kinds of things? I
mean, a lot of comparisons get made to some of the fitness monitors, but this is really, we're focusing, it's being focused as a medical tool, and to sort of as a partner for a veterinarian to be able to look at the data and really see if an animal's sick. So it's much more than an activity monitor or a fitness tool, although it does estimate calories burned and activity levels. But if things are changing over time, they will send the client, the owner, an alert at home and say something's changed with your pet, call your veterinarian.
Wow.
And then I, as a veterinarian, can go online, look at those data, and work with the owner to be proactive about figuring out what may be happening with that pet.
So it's going to make your job easier, but also as a pet owner, even if you love them to death and you're a great pet owner, it's going to make you a more informed and probably better pet owner.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to give a lot of owners peace of mind, you know, especially people go out, they leave for work for 10, 12 hours a day sometimes, and what's Fluffy doing at home all day?
Exactly.
And so I think that really will be a good tool.
Wow, and some of the things, like we said, that the diseases that if you catch them early, maybe things are preventable that might not have been otherwise.
Or just keeping that patient feeling better longer, and keeping their quality of life high for a longer period of time, and also monitoring patients who already have chronic diseases and making sure we intervene before they go over that tipping point where they start to not feel well again.
Well, Jasmin, Timber, thank you both for being here. It's such a good sport, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Timber did not like Freddie's camera in his face. All right, PetPace collar costs $150 with a $15 monthly service fee. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.